in your head that I've murdered somebody. You've got it stuck in your brain that I murdered somebody. You can't get over the first impression that the DA gave you. Oh. Did Nixon write a book? How many people died in Vietnam? The guidelines of a kingdom, or the guidelines of a leader or a president, the president doesn't go to war. His soldiers go to war. And when the soldier goes to war and he's completely willing to give his life for his country, that gives him the permission to take life. That's not murder. There's no murder in a war. When a soldier goes off to kill somebody in a war, that's not murder. That's protecting his home. When the Vietnam veterans came back and you called them murderers, they weren't murderers. They were your children fighting for your rights, fighting for that morality that you want to protect so much. What do you want to call me a murderer for? I've never killed anyone. I don't need to kill anyone. I think it. I have it here. I don't need to live in this physical realm. I walk around in the physical realm, and I put on the faces, and I talk, and I play, and it's just a big act, man. In the spiritual world is where I live. I exist in places you never even dreamed of. You talk about, you know, this little physical realm you live in, guilty, and is he in sin? Well, how's your courts guilty? How many people do you think you've hung on the ventilators in the nut wards and forced medication on them? You see what I'm saying? You don't have any idea what the hell's going on. I don't fit in society, and I am incompetent. I'm definitely incompetent.
No, that's not what I said.
Oh, I say that. I say that. No, there's nothing wrong with being incompetent because you don't have to do as much. If you're competent, then you got a lot to do. See, but there's another aspect of it too. I've learned to reflect. I just reflect back. I know I don't know. I know I'm stupid. I admit. I'm a petty whatever. I've never been a success at anything. I even got to the point where I didn't want to be a success at anything. What would being a success, what does that mean, you know? Money? Oh, I've had all the money in the world 3 times and had to give it back. That's a stupid little game, you know? My awareness and my consciousness is not the same as somebody that goes to school and has a mom and dad. See, not having parents have left me in another dimension, so to say, you know. I don't have no bad going for nothing. I don't judge. I hardly even think about too much. It's hard for me to remember breakfast. In fact, if I didn't have 2 or 3 girls to help me, I would pretty much be lost and I wouldn't know what the hell I'm doing. In my whole life, I've burglarized a grocery store, stole some nickels and dimes, busted open a stamp machine, stole a few automobiles, and cashed a couple checks. I'm a petty car thief. I've been with prostitutes and bums and winos and all my life. The street is my world. I don't pretend to go uptown and be anything fancy. I can, but I find more real in the world that I'm in than I do the tinsel. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day. Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left. Because my children are coming. I told you 20 years ago.